Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the profits. Last video we have discussed about the rent, the modern theory of rent, classical theory of rent, and the quasi rent and its determination. We shall discuss the profits. No doubts, profits are associated with the entrepreneurs and his functions, but the economics from time to time has changed their view to discuss about the profits. Till today, there is no complete agreement among the economists about true nature of origin of profits. Economists have different opinion about the profits. As a matter of fact, there has been perhaps no topic in the whole economic theory which has been in a such confused and tangled state as the theory of profits. And the economists have different opinion about the entrepreneur and his role in the economic theories. So a part of the confusion in the theory of profit is due to lack of agreement among the economists about the true or proper function of entrepreneur. Some have held that entrepreneur functions of entrepreneur is to organize and coordinate the other factors of production. We shall discuss about the entrepreneur by having a chart. I would like to classify the entrepreneur's role in this table, and I classified the other factors, and the entrepreneur is one of the factors of production. His role is very important in the production process. Other factors also has its importance, but entrepreneur is the key factor who is taking risk to produce goods and services in an economy. So first the first one, that is the contract. What are the contract? What are the contracts of factors of production, other factors of production, and entrepreneur? We shall discuss here about the entrepreneur. So profits are the returns to the entrepreneur for his efforts, and entrepreneur is the principal and active agent of the production. An entrepreneur can be distinguished from other owners of factors of production on a number of criteria. We have taken some criteria, that is the contract, other factors, and entrepreneur. The entrepreneurs enters into the contract with the other factors. They are hired, other factors are hired or purchased for the production of goods and services by the entrepreneur. Thus, in their return is the return of the purchased or the hired goods or the factors. Their return is considered as the contractual income. The entrepreneur, we already told about that the entrepreneur is the principal and the active agent of production. An entrepreneur cannot be hired. So the entrepreneur cannot be hired or purchased by other factors of production. Other factors of production like the land, labor, and capital. Thus, his return, what he earned from his production process, return is a non-contractual income. Non-contractual income. An entrepreneur performing the functions of bearing risk and uncertainty as he controls the business and take a price and output decision. The entrepreneur earns profit because he bear risk. So entrepreneur playing a very vital role in the production. So he is the risk taker here. The entrepreneur earns profit because he bear risk and uncertainty, because as his price and output policy may prove to be incorrect in of the future business movements. So here we can take the uncertainty of reward. Other factors always earn a reward for but I already told about an entrepreneur may not always earn a reward for his efforts. He may not get rewards. He may not always get or earn a reward for his efforts, because he is he is considered as the risk bearer, or he may involve himself in the production. The third point is the functions. Functions is almost very important in this concept. Other factors of production have their defined functions, such as labor performs manual work. Labor performs manual and or non-manual work, but the entrepreneur perform functions which are altogether different, such as he bears uncertainty. Already I told here, he bear uncertainty and risk. Introduces innovations. So he bear the risk, uncertainty, and he introduces innovations of new different productions, or he may change the criteria to produce goods and services, or to sell their products in different innovated methods. The next very important point is that the possibility of losses. Here the losses is who can bear the losses and who cannot bear of loss is very important. Here the other factors of productions always earn positive rewards. Always earned positive reward, but the entrepreneur is a risk taker. He is the risk taker. He may face the uncertainty in the production of goods and services. He may suffer by losses. So an entrepreneur may earn negative rewards in case of losses. The fifth basis is reward. The fifth basis is reward. So other factors of production can get the rewards according to their work. Here labor can get wages. So wages for labor, rent for land, and for interest is the reward of or for capital. So here labor gets wages, land gets rents, and capital gets its interest in the whole process. But in the view of the entrepreneur, here the profits are the reward. Profits are the reward to an entrepreneur. Its main entrepreneur gets only profits. So every entrepreneur has intention to increase their profits. So their sole motive is to maximize profits. Now we shall discuss the definitions about the entrepreneur. Schumpeter has assigned to the entrepreneur the role of an innovator and profits as a reward for his introducing innovations. Schumpeter is one of the important, very great economist. Like the Schumpeter, F.H. Knight has emphasized uncertainty in the economy as a factor which gives rise to profits, and bearing uncertainty is the task of the entrepreneur. Already discussed here the rewards and the profit, how he can get in the production process. Besides, some economists have described profit as a non-functional income. Here, the J.M. Keynes is one of the famous economists. According to J.M. Keynes, J.M. Keynes expressed the view that profit resulted from the favorable movements of the general price level. John Robinson, E.H. Chamberlain, and M. Kalecki have stated that the profits profit with imperfect computation and monopoly. According to them, the greater the degree of imperfection, or in other words, the greater the degree of monopoly power, the greater the profits made by the entrepreneur. Different economics give their own definition about the profits. Therefore, the connection of the profits by the different economics, that is by F.H. Knight. According to F.H. Knight, profits is associated with the uncertainty. F.H. Knight told about the profit is uncertainty, and by Schumpeter, profit related to with the innovations theories, and by Hawley, profit with risk bearing, and by John Robinson, and E.H. Chamberlain and M. Keleki. Chamberlain, M. Keleki, John Robinson, M. Keleki, with the degree of monopoly, power, So therefore, there is no single or the universal acceptable theories about the profits in economics. So each and every economists have different opinion about the profit theory. So there is no single factor or single definition to the profit, the theories of profits. So as a matter of fact, profit arise from all the sources. We can say there are no single explanation about the profit theory. Omits some crucial factors and fails to bring out some important economic factors having a relation with profits. So here we can mention the name of B.S. Kirstead related to the profit theory. The B.S. Kirstead expresses the view that profits originate from monopoly, successful innovations, and a correct estimate of uncertain future of the future. So that's why. So according to Kirstead, profits may come to exist as a result of monopsony, as a reward for innovation, as a reward for the correct estimates of uncertain factors, either particular to the industry or general to the whole economy. So these are the definitions of theories of profits. We shall discuss now the very two crucial concept, that is the explicit cost and implicit cost. Explicit cost and implicit cost are two most important concepts in economics. Every time we can face the questions about the explicit cost and implicit cost in national eligibility test or the state level eligibility test of related to the economics. Implicit cost and explicit cost. Explicit costs are the cost. Explicit cost are the cost incurred by the entrepreneur for hiring and buying factor and non-factor inputs. For the purpose of the production. So very next, that is the implicit cost. Implicit cost are the imputed cost of those factors of production which the entrepreneur supplies himself. Entrepreneur may have the own capital and his own land and his own talent etc., So the implicit cost or the imputed cost or the imputed cost of those factors of production which the entrepreneur supplies himself. So these are we can follow the interest on own capital, remuneration for the entrepreneur, depreciation, rent for own land, etc. These are neither purchased nor hired by the entrepreneur from the market, but are self-owned and used for the purpose of production. Implicit cost means the imputed cost of those factors of production the entrepreneur supplies himself. These factors would have earned some remuneration if they had been employed or sold in the market. The remuneration foregone as a result of their employment by the entrepreneur in his own business is the implicit cost of production. These may we can understand one by one as already right here. The interest on own capital, remuneration for the entrepreneur, depreciation, rent for own land. First one, that is the interest on own capital. The interest on own capital. Entrepreneurs has the own capital. The capital invested by the entrepreneur in the business by the entrepreneur would have fetched some interest if it had been invested elsewhere. So if the entrepreneur invested the own capital in elsewhere or somewhere, it would earn him profit or income by investing in other side. The imputed cost of the interest on own capital is taken as the implicit cost of the production So the interest on own capital. Second one, that is the remuneration for entrepreneur. Remuneration for entrepreneur. The entrepreneur, especially of a small firm, also act as the manager as well. The salary he could be earned by working elsewhere is foregone as a result of this. Therefore, his salary is the imputed implicit cost. The salary as a manager he can earn elsewhere, but his salary as a manager is also implicit cost. Depreciation. The depreciation on plant and machinery. The depreciation on the plant and machinery. Depreciation in the machinery, the buildings, furnitures, and other fixed capital, other fixed assets may be depreciate. That would consider as in the implicit cost. a rent for own land. The entrepreneur may use his own land for his production, which would have fetched some rent if he had lent it or he used it for some other purpose. Therefore the imputed rent of the land also considered as the implicit cost. So these are the some these the explicit cost and the implicit cost, which is most useful in the economic theories. First, without the concept of the implicit, without knowing the concept of implicit cost and explicit cost, we can't understand any other things. So now we shall move to the concept of profits. In the theories of profits, we shall understand the concept of profits. First one, that is the gross profit and net profit. Gross profit is the excess of total revenue over the total explicit cost. In other words, gross profit does include the element of implicit cost. Already told about the explicit cost and the implicit cost. The gross profit is the excess of total revenue over the total explicit cost. Thus we can write a formula for the gross profit. Gross profit is equal to total revenue minus total explicit cost. Total explicit cost. Very next concept is the net profit. Net profit is the residual income or residue available to the entrepreneur after accounting for all explicit and implicit cost involved in the production. So thus we can write here the net profit is equal to gross profit minus total implicit cost, or net profit is equal to total revenue minus net profit is equal to total revenue minus total implicit cost minus total implicit cost, it's including the depreciation cost. So net profit is equal to gross profit minus total implicit cost. The next concept is the normal and supernormal profits. Normal and supernormal profits. Normal, first we have to take the normal profit. Normal profit. The name suggests its answer. It includes its answer. Normal profit is the minimum amount of profit which an entrepreneur must earn in order to induce him to keep the firm in operation. It is thus included in the cost of production. Itself, just like any other expenses. This is the level of profits where all opportunity cost of entrepreneur are just covered by the total revenue. Supernormal profit is the profit which is in excess of the minimum necessary to induce the entrepreneur to keep the firm within the industry he is certainly operating in. So they are the profits over and above the normal profits and are thus not included in the cost of production. Supernormal profit can get in some cases in some special time. It is the level where the entrepreneur is earning more than total more than the total opportunity cost. Supernormal profit arises due to some reasons. They are the monopoly profits because the firm has full control over its the production and the supply of the commodity. So here the full control over the supply of the commodity. It's mean the monopoly. When the firm gets monopoly power, he can decide how to distribute and how to get income and what quantity he can produce and what quantity he can sell. It is called as the supreme power of the firm. That's when it controls over the supply of its commodity, then he can get this supernormal profits. So second one, that is first one, the monopoly profits and windfall gains due to some unforeseen changes in the demand and supply condition. That's why it's considered as the windfall gain. Unforeseen changes may incurred in the market. Sometimes the demand will increase and that's why the supply, the shortage of supply can rise the prices of the commodities. That's why he can get the windfall gains, or he can get his supernormal profit, entrepreneur or firm. So difference in ability of entrepreneur, difference in ability of entrepreneur. These are the uh, points which can give rise to the supernormal profits. We shall discuss the theories of profits one by one after that. Here